Okay, so the exercise that I'm going to have you to do is to first just relax, because I know a lot of us just getting off from work, the rustle and bustle, and a lot of people, it's a lot of times I'll speak for me. Sometimes I'm running around and I turn my camera off because I'm doing like other stuff. And so if you have time and if you're not running around, just take a moment to just be present right now and just close your eyes for a moment and imagine your perfect life. What seems perfect about this life? And what if you had 100 days left? What would you do? How would you change your life? If you had 100 days, what would you do? What would you do differently? All right. Okay, y'all can open up your eyes and come back. What I want to talk about is unconditional living. Condition, and the word condition is used to describe something such as an agreement that will happen only if something else also happens. Unconditional living means that you do not place any other conditions on your own happiness other than the way you choose to feel each and every moment according to his will for your life. And you are totally in control of that. So you do not convince yourself that you can only be happy if certain external conditions are met. You simply choose to be happy in every moment and follow that path, starting right now. Now, let me tell you why you see me, I got on my this is my kind of like my workout gear that I have on right now. And so I've been doing a little bit of hustle and bustling this week. I've had a lot of Zoom meetings, even to the wee hours of the evening. And within that, I took a moment today, and my sister contacted me. So she was like, hey sis, you want to go out? You want to go out skating? Oh my God. Yes. Knowing, I was like, wow. And I got Bible study. I got to teach tonight. And I said, you know what? Let's go. Let's go out early, because that is a treat to myself. And sometimes you got to treat yourself and you got to do what's best for you. So for me, I love to skate and skate outside. I'm an outside skater. So me and her went down to the riverfront, put on our skates and our workout gear, and we just skated around. I was so happy. It is my happy place. It makes me feel so free. Just being able to skate real fast and just the wind blowing on my face, and I just feel so free, like I can do anything. That's one of the things that I that I do. And I took a moment out just for me. And I try to get glimpses of moments. If I can't get a whole day, then I take a portion of my day. And since my week has been a hectic week, it's been like 4 days back to back with different stuff. But my body tells me sometimes, you have to take out some time for yourself. And sometimes we don't do that. Take time to get to know who you are. A lot of times we don't explore. And for me, I love to take different, the first thing is the Word of God, to see who you are in the Word of God and who He tells you that you are. And then I love to take different personality tests, not all of them, but a couple of them. And it gives me insight, greater insight on different, being in this flesh, different things that that comes natural to me. And then some things that, how I process information. And it's so great to be able to get to know who you are. And then to explore, to always look for an opportunity to get to know who you are, because, getting to know, you get to know who God is through you. It's an amazing, amazing thing. He said that in his word, and in Jeremiah, he said he knows the plans that he has for us. He said for our future and a hope for us. And I just kind of lean on him every single day, just waiting for the opportunity, or just being on the edge of my seat every day. God, who do you want me to talk to? Who do you want me to smile at? Who do you want me to give a kind word to? And I look for those opportunities. Look for those opportunities every single day. And in Psalm, he says that he makes the path, he makes known to me the path of life. He says, in your presence, there are fullness of joy. And when he makes known to me the path of life, for each individual, it is so different. It is so different. We'll end up in the same space, but it's different for each and every one of us. And he said, in his presence. So in his presence, that I will find the path of life. And so if I'm not finding the peace, if I'm not finding my path of life, I've gotten out of his presence. I've gotten out of his presence. If I'm experiencing anything but the fullness of life, we are a lot of times distracted by the cares of the world. And he already told us that we don't even have to worry about that. He told us not to worry about it. But a lot of times we take on the cares, and we don't take a moment to just sit back and relax and listen to him and his instructions. What's stopping you from living that fulfilling life? Remember when I had you to take a moment, if you had 100 days, how would that look like to you? What would that look like? How would you experience that? How would you make that impactful? How would your legacy be? What would you do? A lot of times we try to, I'll speak for me. I was going to say everybody, but no, let me speak for me. In the past, and I'm still getting to know this part and still experiencing that. When you start taking on the cares of this world, you start getting too involved with different things and taking you off your path. And sometimes you might indulge in it way too much. And you are busy trying to help and save people that you can't save. And sometimes when you're trying to save them, they accidentally pull you under. And then we're fighting to get up, to keep our heads above water because of what we would like to see. But taking a step back to realize that everybody has their own path and everybody has their own choices. Everybody. And so we have to listen, be able to be present. And I have to do this several times a day just to be present. Because 5 minutes from now, it might be some different instructions. But if I'm not listening, I won't hear those instructions. So I want to be in a place where I can hear from God. When He tells me to stop doing something and said, I need you to get in this place. I need you to take a moment for me. Hallelujah. I looked up some studies, and it says a recent study issued of the personality and social psychology bulletin shows that about 90% of adults have deep regrets about their lives. I never want to have not one regret about my life. Never. So I try to, with the opportunities that I have, I try to listen to God. Is this opportunity for me? Because I don't want to miss out. Is it for me? Is this one for me? Because I'm going to jump on it. But I thought that was very interesting. 90% of adults at least have one thing that they regret. And if they keep digging themselves into that and keep dwelling on that, the study also confirmed that it makes their quality of life worse because all they can do is think about those regrets. I woulda, coulda, woulda. I just, they can't shake it. So God is telling us, He wants us to fulfill what He has put in us. He has given us all the tools that we need. I want to give you some of the items, the things that people have regrets about. And just take a moment and just think about it. The first one is 5 of them. I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. That was me back in the day. That was me. And when I was younger, I wanted to I wanted to please my mom and my dad. So I did everything that I thought that they would want me to do. And I, I missed it. but but it's not all bad. So when you come across that at some point, those are learning opportunities. And as long as you get it, at some point, you get it and you wake up to those things. Because you don't want to live in the shadow of someone else, not fulfilling your dream and fulfilling someone else's dream, your parents, your aunt, your uncle, whoever. You want to fulfill the life that God has for you. The second one is, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. Now, these came from elderly people. I wish I hadn't worked so hard. And that was in reference to missing out on their children and the things that they could have, the ball games, the recitals. They were too busy working not to make that time. And those are fulfilling moments. Number 3 is, I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. Woo! That is a big one, because a lot of people struggle with that. A lot of people struggle with that. And it's something that you have to continuously work on. Because not in all situations do you feel comfortable with expressing yourself. You might have to think about it, when it comes to certain people. And God will give you the words for whoever. I know he gave me the words for my dad and for my mom. And I had to, when I approached them two about different situations, I had to approach them differently. So God gave me one way to approach my dad, which was a little bit harsh than but I still approached him with love, than he told me to do with my mom. And he told me to be gentle with my mom, that she was very fragile, and to give her more love. Number 4 is, I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. How many times do we part from people and we say we love them and we miss them, but we lose that connection? And for some of us, those are some relationships are meant to be broken or separated. But then there are some relationships that God has tapped you on your shoulder and said, hey, let's revisit this. Let's go back. And you have to be able to listen to those things and use wisdom, because you never know why God might nudge you on your shoulder and tell you to reach out to people. I try to keep in touch with, and I have to sometimes people tap me on my shoulder. Like, hello, I'm over here. Did you forget? But it goes both ways. But the only thing that we can do is keep our side and know that we are allowing God to speak to us in those times when he's asking us to reach out and not let some connections not let them break or not let them disconnect. And some, some connections were not meant to be built upon in certain type of ways. And you just never know. Maybe God is calling you to do a business with someone. Maybe God is calling you to partner with someone. You never know. Maybe God is calling you to do something when to, to encourage someone. Maybe someone that wants to take their life. Maybe just reach out to that person, just to say hey. Not too much to say hey. I was just thinking about you. You have, you know, how was your day? Anything. I try to be obedient. Every time God tells me to do something, even when I'm tired, I try to be obedient. Every time. And the last one out of the 5 is I wish that I had let myself be happier. That was a wow, a really wow moment for me. And a lot of times people stay stuck in old habits, in old patterns, and they don't allow themselves to enjoy happiness or experience, just laying aside all the weight of the world. I just want you to be happy, a genuine happy, a joy that, only can be experienced, not by external things, but his joy. In John 17:13, it says, but now I am coming to you, and these things I speak in the world, that they may have my joy fulfilled in themselves. That is so very powerful. So very powerful. I just couldn't go through life just disappointed by life and the things that happen. It's the same thing as glass half empty or half full. Some people, just look at like the half full. But God has called us, half empty. But God has called us to look at it half full. Because look at the lessons that we learn. And as we continue to learn lessons, then we can teach. We can pay it forward. It is so, so very powerful. All the things that God has for us. And I enjoy really, really, and every day I try to really enjoy my life and everything that he has given to me, the gifts, my family, my friends, my church. I'm just so grateful. I'm just grateful at everything that he's given to me. Because I don't believe that anything happens by happenstance. I really believe that there is a purpose for everything. You have to look for that purpose. You have to look for the purpose in your life. Because a lot of times when you don't look for, you think you have no purpose, you'll just waste away. And you won't even try. And I see a lot of people in that space. But each and every one of you has a purpose in life. And I can say that each and every one of you has made me smile, has planted seeds in my life. And it's just so powerful when you come in, when you can fellowship with family, friends. Those are You can't put a price tag on things. You really can't. They're priceless moments. And you can't, and time is something you can't get back. And so the time that I have, I want to spend them showing my love, being able to do God's will for my life, and being able to build a legacy that my kids can pay forward. And that someone else can still talk about me. I'm thinking about the little, I can't think of the name of it, but it was a little Mexican movie. And a Mexican movie, and it was about when the ancestors died, and if people stopped talking about them, they would fade away. And in order to keep them alive, you would have to talk about them. Yes, Coco. Ashley put it in there. Yes. And it was just so, I thought that movie was just so, I love kids' movies. I thought the movie was so powerful because they were like, no, you have to keep this legacy going on. So, keep talking about the people who have made impact in your life. Go back, thank them. And the legacies that they leave behind. And even with mine, you might even think that some people, like, what kind of legacy would they leave? But there is something good in everyone. And there's a legacy to be learned from everyone. I just so believe that. He said, the word in Romans 6:14. Well, I won't read that. Take stock in what you control in your life. And just take a moment to think about, how can you live? What changes can you make in your life today? Starting today. What changes can you make to live a more fulfilled life, and not to put you to the side, and not to take on other people's baggage, where it's allowing you to drown and you're waiting for someone to save you? Sometimes I can speak for a lot of ladies. A lot of ladies, we are protectors, we're nurturers, and we want everyone. We like to cover, we like to do all these things. You hear the train? We like to cover and we like to protect. But at some point, you can't do it to your detriment. Not till it's hurting you. But we don't know what we don't know. So what changes would you make in your life if you were to start today, tonight? What changes would you make? And the changes that you would make, it's going to cost you something, because you're going to have to come out of your comfort zone. You can't stay in your comfort zone and do something different. You're going to have to do something different. Stop being fearful. God has called us to something new. I try to experience something new, whether it's learning something new every single day, or experiencing or learning something new every single day. Because I wonder, what is on the other side of fear? What is it? What's on the other side? And a lot of times I found out it was victory. And all my experiences with fear or of the uncertain, it was victory on that other side. And then I was so excited that I had the opportunity to go through that with the butterflies, with the, with the nausea. Like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to go through this, and the stuff that we take ourselves through. And I feel, I'm like, my goodness. But then on the other side, when I get to the other side, it's like, that was really tough. It was really tough. I've been through some really tough things. But when I get to the other side, I can really say God has walked with me. He has walked that path with me. And it makes me excited. And it's the times where he's silent, because the teacher sometimes gets silent when you're in a test. And I allow myself to remember what his word says, and to allow myself to walk through, even when I'm scared, even when I'm fearful. And at some point, God he always gives me a peace about it. And when he gives me that peace, there is nothing you can do. When he gives me that peace, I am done. I'm just like, okay, well, you got it, Daddy. I'm not sure what you're going to do or how you're going to show up, but he always shows up. I have so many numerous testimonies of God just being there, helping me walk through some of the, toughest times in my life. My divorce, moving, even with my daughter going through all that she went through, with mental health. And I still have a thank and a praise for that, because he allowed me to experience that so I can share it with someone else, so I can deliver someone else. And actually going through the process, I was able to share it with a family member. And she was so grateful, so thankful, and was really surprised that I had known what I had known. But I know it because I went through it. And it's not anything, I wasn't hiding it, but they just didn't know. And I'm like, yeah, I know about that. I know about that. And I know when I come out of things, I know when my family come out of things. So I know you can do it too. It's just about getting the information that you need. That's all it's about. It's about communication. Because you know what? Everyone in here goes through so much. But guess what? They not the next person that's right next to you, but maybe that other person, two seats down, going through the same thing or been through it. And that is your deliverance. That is your deliverer. She was sent here, or he was sent here to speak into your life, to give you that push, to get you to that other side of fear. Because a lot of times we operate in that fear, not knowing. How can I get through this? I don't know. Because I'm feeling, and this is the enemy tactics, is to get you put into a corner where you're not able to speak, and that he paralyzes you. So you won't do nothing. No, God has called us to much more than that. He has called us out of the darkness into his marvelous light. So I'm going to end with this. Unconditional love. Condition is used to describe something such as an agreement that will happen only if something else also happens. Unconditional living. Unconditional living means that you do not place any other conditions on your own happiness other than the way you choose to feel each and every moment according to His will for your life. You are in total control of that. So you do not convince yourself that you can only be happy if certain external conditions are met. You simply choose to be happy in every moment and follow that path, starting right now. God bless you all. And thank you. So I want to ask each and every one of you, well, whoever, what will you do differently now going forward?
Hi, this is Marsha. How y'all doing? Good evening. Love y'all. I would definitely not be worried about things that I can't change. Now that I know, with my relationship with God, I'm enjoying the journey more, in spite of all the bumps in the road and everything. I know that they're there for a reason, and I am trusting God. I'm really putting faith and trust in God and not worrying, not even being concerned about it. Not even having a concern. So I'm doing that, and life is so much easier, so much more enjoyable, peace of mind, happier, and able to do more enjoying life as opposed to being concerned about life.
Yes. That was awesome, Marsha. Thank you. Anybody else?
For me, but first of all, I want to say thank you, because this is really amazing, and I thank you for challenging me before you even started to close my eyes and just be present. I didn't pick up my Bible. I didn't pick up things that would have kind of interrupted, my being present. Because sometimes when you're writing, because what I saw, the recording is on, and I was like, you know what, when you just said, just close your eyes and be present. Thank you for that, because it just really, made me be intentional about not being distracted, not thinking about what I gotta do next, not thinking about, oh, let me make sure I find the verse, be ready to find the verse that she, pours out. I just challenge myself just to relax and be present. And thank you for that. So I'm going to intentionally think about, being present going forward more. So thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
I just want to thank you because it's so good. Just the unconditional living. It was like sobering, and you definitely taught a lot. You really made me think. A little bit before jumping on the call, I had the thought of like, what happens if you don't see tomorrow? Like, I think at my age, sometimes you could take life for granted at times. And with that being said, when you said, what would you do differently? I would take more opportunities and, less procrastination just to make things happen and also enjoy the journey. So thank you for that reminder. I'm receiving it and going to take heed to it.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much, Tynetta. I feel like I just went to a counseling session. Thank you today. It made me think as well. I think just piggybacking off what Shay said, I think that I would definitely take every day like it's the last one. If there was 100 days left, every day like it's the last one, taking, you know, a pause, and definitely taking some time every day to take care of myself at some point in the day. So yeah, made me think. Thank you so much. I really believe you can speak to anybody from any walk of life.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Nadia. Thank you for sharing.
Hey, Tynetta. Well, first and foremost, thank you. This was wonderful and beautiful. I felt so much peace while I was listening to you. And what I took away was if I had 100 days left, I would be more present in the moment and love more fully. You know, not put so many stipulations on myself. I would just be more free and love more fully. That's really what I took from it. So I thank you.
Thank you. That's powerful. That's powerful. Thank you for sharing.
Hello, Sister Rose. I thank you for the word. I was talking today with Sister Dorinda about that, and you just gave me confirmation on our conversation about all that. And I just would focus more on me, on my response to how I feel about myself, and having more confidence and knowing that God is the head of my life, and that no matter what I've been through, I thank him for all my journeys and all my tests and trials, because they made me become who I am and brought me in the place I'm in now. So for all that I would focus on is all more being more attentive to God and more obedient, because he has done that so many things for me, even when I was all over the place. So I look at my life as God is so good that no matter what I've done, I used to judge myself, but he didn't. And and I would be more focused on him and what his purpose is for me to do. That's where I just want to do his will and let it be done. And that's where I would focus more on doing that.
Thank you.
And God bless you, because that was wonderful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for
And my
sharing.
phone is jacked up right now, and I can barely hear you. I had to hold it to my ear.
Oh.
So, but I did stay on point, and my ear is on fire right now because the phone got hot. I thought I would share that, but God bless you.
Thank
I
you,
couldn't miss
Rose.
it. I was fussing. I was like, I'm not going to get upset. I just kept working, and I got it, and it wouldn't come up loud. So I just held it to my ear, and it's okay that it's hot. Because the word was just on point. God is so
Amen.
good.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, God bless. So if I don't come back on and say nothing, it's because it done got too hot. I had to
Hot
put
tip
it
for
down.
your ear. I
I had to
understand.
put it down. All right.
Anybody else?
Sister Tynetta, this is Dorinda.
Hi.
Hello. Thank you so much for that word, because as women, we always get busy and caught up into kids and life, and we always do forget about us. And taking care of us is something that's always put on the last back burner and all that. And I know with me, when I took back me from everybody else, and you start to enjoy life, you start to, like you said, find out who you are in God. And that is like just the most wonderful experience that you can do. And now, you know, like you said, you can get distracted so easily and pulled into other things. But you know, for me, I've started to where it's not my problem. It's their problem. You know, pray for them. I pray for them, and I just keep it going, because right now it's about me. What, you know, like all the other ladies have said, you know, you have to enjoy. You have to enjoy life. God put us here for that, to do his purpose, but in that we still have to enjoy and do us, take care of us. So I do thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. All right. Okay. Anybody else? Is that it? All right. Okay, well, I thank everyone for the opportunity to share tonight. I appreciate everyone. I guess if you wanted to, oh, what is this? Oh, so for giving, the link is out in the chat if you would like to give. So, and it's abundantloveministries.org giving. So if you desire to give to the church, then please click on the link or give through Giveify or the other ways that we give. So again, I thank everyone for showing up and for all of your communication. It was awesome. And I absolutely learned from you guys too. So I thank y'all. I wish everyone an amazing evening, a restful evening, and do something that is special to you tonight. Do something for you. That one thing that you just do something special for you.